Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, coming to you on this Thirsty Thursday, October 2nd, with my Seeking Sister Wife recap, Season 6, Episode 2. I'm building Voltran here. Very, very interesting. Like I've told you guys, this is my first season watching this. I didn't watch last season. I'm planning on binging last season, but I've been doing my own research about the returning couples, the Merrifields and the Davises, which I got introduced to on this episode. So if I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a solid B plus. So let's hop right into this. So seeking sister wife, a very interesting concept, and their stories are the same but different, if that makes sense. So, first off, let's start with the Davises. They're a returning couple from last year. Now, it's April, Nick, and Jennifer. April and Nick have been longtime common in law partners for over 17 years, I believe she said. And April and Jennifer are legally married. Okay, so that's how that dynamic is. They are happy together. Okay. Um, Jennifer has one biological child with Nick, Vera. Okay. And they did have a previous sister wife on their first season named Danielle. And Danielle decided to leave the family because she wasn't too keen on expanding it. So Nick says that they left things off, on good terms. They haven't spoken to her, however, so Danielle is off living her life. Now they have another potential sister wife. Her name is Teresa. Teresa and Nick have been longtime platonic friends. They met each other online. They've been talking for a long time. And Teresa recently went to Jennifer and April to let them know how much she was in love with Nick. So now she is the third potential sister wife, and she says a guy could want pizza all the time, but eventually he's going to want a steak. So she says being in a plural relationship works for her because, there's a little bit of something that she could give her man, and what she can't give her man, she has her sister wife there for. So this works for her. So, like I said, Nick and Jennifer have one biological child together, Vera. April has her son, Will, from a previous relationship that Nick raised as his own. And then Teresa has her son, Damien, who is 2 years younger than Will. So the kids all live together, they all get along. And Jennifer is having another baby. She is having a baby girl due in 6 months. So the family is expanding. So now, do you wonder how Nick gets it on with all his sister wives? They don't do it in the marital bed, in the master bedroom. They have something called the boom boom room. So whenever one of the sister wives needs a little bit of Nick, they go into the boom boom room. Boom boom room. Okay. So they're going to an alpaca farm as one big happy family. And due to all of their schedules and stuff, because the woman, they work full time while Nick is a stay at home dad. And he prefers it this way because the women have their financial independence. So, due to all of their working schedules, etc., it's really hard for all of them to get together and go out as a big family, even though they all live together. So, they go on this alpaca farm little day trip where they discover alpacas also practice polygamy. Yeah, there's usually one male alpaca to every nine females or some shit like that. So Nick is like, oh, that's cool. So Of course, there's going to be issues. And that is my thing with these polygamous relationships. I personally could not be in a polygamous relationship because I'm too much of a jealous bitch. I am too jealous when it comes to my man. And honestly, I wouldn't be able to share him. So, Teresa has some issues that she says has nothing to do with Nick. Okay, that it's like her eternal issues, if you know what I'm saying. So she, basically have these voices battling in her head saying that, Nick loves April more because he's been with April the longest. Nick loves Jennifer more than her because Jennifer bears him children. And she has all of these insecurities in her head that she says it's totally Nick. Okay. And she has to work it out within herself. And I have a feeling this is only the first episode that we've seen them on, episode two of the season. These insecurities are going to be a huge issue. But for now, they're one big happy family on the alpaca farm. Okay. And Nick is happy. The other women are happy. And let's just hope that Teresa could, work through these insecurities and she could get what she wants out of this relationship. So that's the Davises for right now. Now, moving on, we have Reese and Billie Jean. Okay, so they are going to tell his conservative family that they are seeking a sister wife. So his mom already knows. His mom gives them her total support, but he's going to tell his conservative father, conservative cousins, and he, is nervous about what kind of reaction he's going to get from them. So they gather with the pizza. They start eating the pizza, and Reese drops the bomb that they are seeking a sister wife so they could expand on their family. Like I said, the first episode, we learned that Reese and Billie Jean conceived their children through IVF. Their friend donated the egg. It was a whole big ordeal. They would love to expand their family, but just the thought of having to do IVF each time is very expensive. The toll that it takes on Billie Jean's body. So one of the reasons why they want to have a sister wife is to expand the family and also take some stuff off of Billie Jean's plate. So they break the news. Well, Reese breaks the news, and his cousin, who has a very interesting fashion choice here. I've never seen a shirt quite like this. She basically bursts out fucking laughing in his face. She burst out laughing and she's like, "You're joking, right?" And he's like, "No, we're not joking." And he explains the reasons why they're not joking. And basically, his cousin was like, "It sounds like you need a nanny." Then she explained that she wanted to expand their family and that the sister wife is going to help them expand their family. Grandpa says, "Oh, I guess that's more gifts that I'm going to have to buy for a grandchild." So, even though he was shocked by the news, he took it fairly well. His cousin, however, and forgive me, I can't remember her name right now, she was not happy about this, and boy, did her conservative views come through. Basically, she said, "Think about the kids. Do you think the kids are going to get made fun of about this situation? Okay, the kids are going to be confused. There are kids confused out there that have two parents of the same sex. How do you think that your kids are going to feel in this sister wife situation?" And she's like, "They're going to get picked on. And I know we shouldn't care what other people think, but we need to think about the kids and we need to worry about the kids." And yet she has a point, but not for nothing. Those are not your children. Those are Billie Jean's children. And I think the cousin needed to take several steps back. There's a fine line, in my opinion, in stating how you feel and then crossing the line. She was crossing the line. Okay, and the look on Billie Jean's face, I'm surprised she didn't reach over the counter and smack her. So the cousins, going on and on about worry about the children. The children are going to be confused. Yes, I get it, but I feel like she was just going a little overboard, maybe for the cameras. So, reason Billie Jean say that they are going to pursue it. They're going to find their sister wife, and they're not going to let what Reese's cousin had to say ruin what they're going to do. So now we get introduced to another couple, Matt and Angelica. Matt and Angelica have been together for, I want to say, 15 years and married for 5. They met when she was working in the supermarket and he kept going down her checkout aisle. Then she decided to hit him up on social media. They hooked up and she got some meat because she was craving meat. Now, their sister wife is Shirai. And it was Angelica's idea to find a sister wife because she says that she can't handle all of her man. And this is where I'm just like, okay, it can't be me. Really, it can't be me. So Angelica says that she's had a sheltered childhood. She didn't have many friends. She was always taught not to tell anybody your business, keep everything to herself. So she never really had like a girlfriend that she could confide in, like a real friend or anything like that. So a sister wife to her is an opportunity to have that friend that she never had and to also pawn off some of the responsibility of dealing with her husband. I'm like, okay, interesting. So Cherie and Angelica meet up for drinks, and Cherie has an issue. And honestly, I don't blame her. She wants more. Okay. She lives about an hour away from them. And due to Matt and Angelica's schedule with the kids and everything, okay, Matt has to make sure that he's there early in the morning to help Angelica get the kids off to school because she leaves, to go to work early in the morning. His work schedule, Cherie's work schedule. Cherie already has a child. Okay. So all of these conflicting factors is making her want more. She's like, I don't see you enough as it is. And when I do see you, within 20 minutes of our Netflix movie, we're both passed out sleeping on the couch. She feels like she's not getting quality time with him. And if she doesn't get quality time with him, she's going to have to move on because it's been 3 years now that they've been dating. And they've been trying to make a plan to move closer to each other, but it just hasn't happened. So Angelica Matters sitting there listening to her. Angelica's like, I want to help in whatever way I can. And I'm thinking, you want to help in whatever way you can to have another chick fuck your husband. But hey, you do you. If this is what makes you happy, if this is what makes your relationship function, and you guys are not, at each other's throats and there's no trust issues or anything like that, you do you. But couldn't be me. So, Cherie and Matt are going to spend the night together. And Angelica, sends both of them off. And she's like, have fun. You're a better woman than I am, Angelica. That's all I have to say. So, now moving on, we have Danielle and Garrick. And all I have to say is please have your notifications on. I have hot tea brewing regarding Danielle and Garrick. Garrick. We should call him Garrick. So, yes. So make sure you have your notifications on for that. And as we left off last week, their child bride, Lorena, because I'm seriously questioning how old she is. has arrived in America on her K1 visa. Yes, we have a 90-day seeking sister wife crossover thing going on here. They drove forever in, plains and fields, and Lorena was like, "Where am I? Where are you guys taking me?" Finally pulled up to the house where family members are waiting, the baby is waiting. And when Lorena took the baby in her arms and the baby rested on her shoulder, like she's known her forever, Danielle starts crying in the corner. Danielle's happy and sad at the same time, as she always is, happy and sad at the same time. I do not know why, in my opinion, Danielle wants to be in this whole situation. Okay? Her and Garrett are divorced, legally divorced. She could kick him out the fucking house whenever she feels like. Especially that I learned in this episode that um Garrett is in business with Danielle's brother. Please. Okay. Anyway, so it's the day of Lorena's arrival and Danielle's birthday party. So Lorena is not going to be able to shower, unpack anything. Just put on another outfit, girl, and start blowing up those balloons. Okay. So um, Danielle's brother and his wife are coming over, and they have never been crazy about this plural marriage thing. Okay. And they weren't, supportive about Roberta or the second one that they try to bring from Brazil. I can't remember her name right now. So Danielle is kind of nervous what their reaction to Lorena is going to be. And Danielle's brother just thinks the whole Google Translator thing is just weird. Okay, how Lorena has to use Google Translate. And listen, all I have to say is at least she's using Google Translate and she's going to learn English eventually. Like, give the girl a chance. But Danielle's brother's like, this whole thing is just weird. Lorena thinks the birthday party is just weird. And I agree. Why was there a pinata at an adult birthday party? Okay, that was the first thing. I get it. There was kids there. Yes, but it's an adult birthday party. I never seen a pinata at an adult birthday party. Secondly, Lorena's like the barbecue is very different than the barbecue in Brazil. And Lorena was fascinated by a hot dog. Okay. And she was like, it's different, interesting, but different. So now, my question, and I'm sure if you watched this episode, this was your question too. Why the fuck was Garrick wearing the Burger King crown? Why? Okay, I get it. He put it on during the breaking of the piñata with the kids, with the three kids that were there or whatever. Okay, I get it. Now you're having an adult conversation on your porch with your dad, with your father-in-law, and with your brother-in-law. Why the fuck are you still wearing the crown? Okay, so the brother-in-law asks him, to make a long story short, is he going to get a prenup? Yes, we know you have to marry this chick that you barely know in 90 days. Are you going to get a prenup? Because this kind of worries me, and it affects me because I'm in business with you. And I'm like, you know something? That makes a lot of fucking sense. It really does. It makes a lot of sense. And Daniel's brother has every right to be worried because if he's in business with Garrick and this whole shit with Lorena falls apart and there's no prenup, Lorena could take half the business. Okay, potentially. So I don't blame Danielle's brother for being a little bit worried. Okay, but you know, Danielle and Garrett know that they have 90 days. Okay, the pressure's on, and Lorena's here, so it's time to either do it or she's gonna have to go back home. So we shall see what's gonna happen with this hot shit mess with this the Merrifield family. But like I say, you guys, I have something brewing for later on today. So make sure you have your notifications on because Garrett, literally, Ick. And Danielle's another one. Ick, ick, ick. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Double check that you are subscribed because YouTube is playing games again and they will unsubscribe you without you realizing. Please like, share, comment, consider joining my membership, and check out my merchandise. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye.